Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday Fun Day. I hope you're having a blessed day, blessed evening, wherever you're at. We are here to talk business tonight. Who's excited besides Scott and I? We want to make sure everybody who wants to earn that trip to the Bahamas is on the cruise ship. So if that's you, raise your hand. We're going to be starting something very special. Hey, listen, I have congratulated a couple people on social media, and then some of you are like, well, hey, I want it too. And I'm like, listen, last time I announced too many winners in one day, Facebook threatened to shut me down. I'm not kidding. I'm like, apparently they don't want us winning because I had posted like 6 in a row and I got a notification from Facebook. And they told me that my account was going to be terminated because I was talking too much about winning. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. So I have to actually put only a couple of the winners out a day. I have to kind of space it so that they don't get a little crazy on me. But hey, when you're shining the light, sometimes the darkness is a little crazy, right? So we'll just keep doing our very best over here. Hey, I've got some special guests on tonight. I've got the most amazing couple. Their names are Dr. Ed and Thora, and these are new friends. These are new friends of mine. Honestly, I didn't know him probably before, probably a week, 2 weeks ago, maybe. And so we became fast friends and they're coming to convention. They're an awesome couple. And they actually are on Dr. Leland Stillman's team. By the way, let's congratulate Dr. Leland Stillman. That guy went presidential director today. So that's very exciting to see that. And, but part of the reason is I'm going to tell you, he has an amazing team like the Ashleys and Tommies and Thoras and Eds and Dr. Kathleen's. And there's just so many amazing people on Dr. Stillman's team. You know, we are only as strong as our team, right? So we want to make sure we're building strong teams, people who understand the technology, understand how to share the technology. And so I'm going to hand it over to Thor and Ed for a second because I want them to introduce themselves. You just can't imagine how sharp these two are. They're incredible. When I talked to them on the phone the first time down in Arizona, I thought that they were about 35. They have so much joy and vitality in their voices and in their spirits. Scott and I got off the phone with them in Arizona and we said, that is a couple we want to work with because they were just so full of joy and life and goodness and health and all the things that we believe in and light, right? So let me pin them in here. I'm going to add the pin to this hot couple. Oh, they are. They're so good. Okay. Dr. Ed, you can smile a little bit. It's okay. It's
Oh,
okay.
I do.
So first of all, you guys introduce yourselves because you guys are like running for the cruise and you probably already won it, but you're just one of those people waiting for the points to catch up, right? So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about
Here.
who you are.
So my name is Thora Pemector, and I'm married to this guy. And yeah, we live in Singer's Glen, Virginia. Ed is a physician. I'll let him talk about him. But I'm a mom, and I have another business. We're entrepreneurs. So we're always just really excited to learn and dive into new things. And we got into LifeWave and we've got, we just dove in feet first and we're running with it and loving every minute and love Renita. And I feel like we've got this sort of similar energy and passion and love of people and love connecting. And so, yeah, we're on fire. You go.
Okay. Yep. My name's Ed. So I practice health optimization medicine. I was an anesthesiologist for 23 years and left that 3.5 years ago because I was tired of supporting the big machine. But as an anesthesiologist, if you're good at it, it gives you a lot of free time while people are sleeping to try to keep yourself awake. So over the years, I just did a lot of studying about medicine and health and how to be healthier myself. I looked a lot in the past at biophysics, photobiomodulation, and frankly, when I first heard about LifeWave, I kind of blew it off because an overeducated New Englander, and I said, okay, network marketing, that's a big strike against it, and I don't really understand how this little patch works, and so that's a strike against it. But luckily for us, well, Leland Stillman, he contacted me. We met last year. I've known of Leland for several years, but we had the chance to meet each other and become friends. And he contacted me and suggested I take a look at LifeWave, and I said sure, and I didn't. And so luckily, a friend of ours came to visit who's been using patches for a couple of years and foisted some on us. And Thora had big results pretty much overnight. I had had Achilles tendonitis for about 8 months, and I had about 80% resolution of my pain overnight. And so I'm a practical man, and I don't need to know how it works if it's actually doing something. So we started using them. I started looking at my patients who had problems that I hadn't been able to really solve, and tentatively started asking them if they'd be willing to talk to Thora about it, because she really grabbed hold of this and with a passion. And that was really in June. And so over the course of the summer, we got more experience working with folks. And frankly, I am looking at how I am changing my practice to incorporate these patches right off the bat with people, because I think there's so much to this. So it's been personally life-changing. Professionally, it's life-changing, and we're both very excited about it and excited to be part of the team.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. I mean, I'm just looking, I feel like I can't stop smiling when I look at you two, because your hearts are just pure. You just love people. You want to serve them. And I feel like, with physicians, like there's physicians like Dr. Ed that are trying to get people really well. They're not just part of the juggernaut getting them in and out, right? They literally love their patients and they want to see them healed and well. And so the ones that are exploring photobiomodulation and LifeWave in particular are having like phenomenal results. I remember when Dr. Leland, I'll never forget it. I was over in Greece, I think on a free trip from LifeWave, and he calls me and he said, Renita, I can't believe what's happening with this LifeWave thing. He goes, he said, I had to create a spreadsheet of all the things that are happening with my patients. That's what he said to me. He said, I have a spreadsheet. I said, can you send me the spreadsheet and just take off the names? Because I don't want it to be like, HIPAA or whatever. I said, he said, it's unbelievable. He said, I've never experienced, he said, I'm seeing more results with my patients in a week of wearing the patches than I saw in 6 months of me doctoring with them. And so, and he's not a slouch. You know this guy, right? He's like super integrated, super like all things, right? Bringing it together. And so when you're seeing that type of response in these amazing physicians, they can't help but be excited, right?
Right.
And I mean, you have to be
Yeah.
excited when you see this.
Well, and frankly, I do have a very close relationship with my patients. I consider all of them friends, and I do care deeply about them. And so that actually has come back, that social capital, I guess you could call it, in that people, they say that network marketing is a numbers game, but because they trust me and know that I'm really trying to do the best for them, we end up having, really, Thora has great conversion. And she works very hard to keep up with people and check back in and make adjustments and add things and so forth. So yeah, it's a pretty beautiful thing that's going on.
Is a beautiful thing. And I always say that I'm not just a capitalist because we're in business, right? You said you guys are, entrepreneurs. I'm a conscientious capitalist. That's different because when you're a conscientious capitalist, like you are really bringing light to the world. You only are part of the solutions, not necessarily the problems, right? Because it's really easy to go delve into some business that's part of the problem because they're everywhere, right? But to really be part of the solution that's bringing, just the goodness. I feel like the goodness of God, the goodness of light, in a small little wearable technology that everybody can wear. I mean, I had 2 doctors sign up with me today, 2, and they both got it with premium packs. And so we're on a surge of full steam ahead. Like we are just transforming the whole health industry. right? We want people to know that they can be set free. I love the video of Dr. Stillman. And maybe you share it, Ed, maybe share it, Thora, where he's talking about GHKCU and how he said typically it's got to come in through the skin, but 80% of people don't like needles. So there you
Right.
have it, friends, right? So it's beautiful that we can bring in and activate these peptides with light, right? Not with the needle injection, as we know, so many people in the world right now are very, I don't want to say they're anti-needle, but many are. And so I think it's just great timing for our business model. We thank you guys so much for caring so deeply. And I know you guys are just running for it. And they're going to be down. You guys will get to meet this amazing couple down in Anaheim. They're going to be down at the event with us. And I just can't wait to hug them in real person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add too that I'm really excited about the business aspect of this for the people that we're bringing it to, because I do have a cash-based business. I don't take insurance. And so, but most of my patients are regular folks, retired people, farmers, who they sacrifice to see me. And I'm excited for those of that group who take this up as a business and that we can support them in that, because I think it's going to be, potentially life changing for them, both on the physical aspect as well as the financial and generational aspects. So it has so many great things. This business, it's exciting.
Wow. I love everything you're saying. And I agree. I remember when Dr. Leland, because I pursued him for quite a while about this before he said
I think
yes.
like 39 asks or something like that.
It was just like over the top, right? But I'm positively persistent. Like if there's someone that I really think needs it, I won't give up on him. I'm like, because he never said no. He just was always very busy, right? Which a lot of people are. And so I was just positively persistent with him. But I'll never forget the time that there was another doctor, her name was Dr. Katie, and Leland was talking about the network marketing business model. And he frankly just was not familiar with it. But I always say we're so creatures of patterns and habits. And sometimes when people say, oh, it's one of those, they don't even know what one of those is. Okay, let's just say they have no idea what that even means, right? And so when he started talking like that, I said, well, Leland, I said, you're such a promoter of freedom, health freedom, medical freedom. I said, this is financial freedom. And I said, this is the freedom business where an 81-year-old can make hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands a week at 81, who's typically on a fixed income at that point. And I said, so this is the freedom model, Leland. And so I had this Dr. Katie put together this freedom model presentation. I showed it to Dr. Stillman. And of course, he's like, oh my goodness. So now he's as excited about this business. And in fact, I posted the pictures of him yesterday. And it's amazing because he had patients that are doing the patch that also earned the free trip to Punta Mita, Mexico. So not only did Dr. Stillman earn the trip, did you guys see those pictures? He had patients. He had patients that have joined his business that are sharing the patches that earned the free trip to Punta Mita. So that just says it all, how far he's come from, is it one of those to this is the freedom model business. And if we really believe in freedom, like you said, Dr. Ed, people need finances to pay for the services that they want to come see you for, right? Because it's a cash deal. And so you need the money. I always say to my husband, Scott, we need as much money as we possibly need to do the things that we want to do with our health. Right. Because everything we don't do is not, we have high risk policy insurance. We don't even use insurance. You know what I mean? And so we didn't have it for 20 years, actually. And so we were always those cash people, right? Always paying. I always believe hopefully paying and God keeping us safe and just, doing a lot of the right things to prevent some of those things from happening. But you're a blessing. Both of you are a blessing. I cannot wait. So we did a Zoom meeting. Was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago now? I mean, I'm on the
like
ground.
a week and a half.
Was it a week and a half ago?
Renita, I just want to say one really quick thing because I know we should move on to other people, but this is really funny and you'll appreciate this. So I was talking to a prospect the other day, and she had watched our Zoom with you, and she said to me, she put me in the same boat as you. She said, what makes people like you and Renita successful?
Oh my gosh.
I had to laugh but I said, well, I can't answer for Renita, but I know for me, I have to love the product, and I do. I have to want to make an impact. I have to have a why, like a vision, and I have to want to make a difference in the world. So I don't know if what you would say, but that was my immediate answer. But I just laughed so hard because I was like, not anywhere close to Renita Brandon, but thank you.
Well, I strive to be like Thora. In fact, the other day I thought Thora has an up on me. She's actually got a superhero name that's part Thor. Like I don't have that, Thora. I actually was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, Thora's like a superhero, like a female one. And so anyway, I love you, but I agree with that. I mean, you've got to have a why, you've got to have a passion for people. I've always had that for 25 years. I've been super passionate about health and just pulling people out of the trenches and saying,
Yeah.
come on, you can be well, you can heal, almost that take back your power by believing you can. That's been my mantra for 20 years. I said to Scott, I've always been speaking life. I'm a fitness instructor. I'm like, say it with me, 10 more. I got this.
Right.
And people were, I am strong. And I said, that Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've been counting down from 8 counts, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, all the way down to 0 my whole life. Because that was the change in rhythm of the music. And that was like what we were doing to like, let's go, next thing next. So, for me, it's been a passion for people for sure. Freedom is a big deal for me. Just the freedom to have the finances to spend time with your loved ones, to spend money on the modalities of healing and treatment that you choose, right? All of these things are so crucial in this day and age right now. And so I would say my freedom message and calling has gotten bigger, in the last 6 years, right? I've always kind of been that person, but boy, what happened was just the stuff I witnessed, friends watching loved ones die on cell phones and through FaceTime. I mean, crazy crap. Like I was like so over it all. And so I was like, none of this is freedom. This is all fear. And fear is a real frequency, guys. And when you operate from a spirit of fear, I'm going to tell you what, it's why people stay sick. It's why their businesses don't grow. So I really just am such a believer that we got to kind of move into that joy frequency. I'm such a joy frequency person. Like I'm like the joy of the Lord is my strength. I love to laugh. I love to dance. I love to smile. I think the joy is the frequency that's going to bring a lot of people's health back. And sometimes just being in the community of LifeWave people ups the joy frequency because you get around some of these people like Ed and Thora, the superhero, like you can't help but not to love these people and smile because they're just so amazing. So you guys are great. I appreciate you. I do believe the very best is yet to come, and I do believe we're just getting started. So buckle up because this is like the other day we were on a Zoom meeting, and on the Zoom meeting we had all of these countries around the world. And I've been praying, God, expand our territory, right? Let's go. Time to go global. And, it's fun as a business when you're going to bed in this country and they're waking up over in Asia Pacific and they're crazy about this patch, right? In the Philippines and Taiwan and Japan. So we are just erupting a huge global opportunity. And I don't want you guys to forget about that. And in fact, let me show you something real quick because I had forgotten about it until I was doing all these Zoom meetings with all these international leaders. But let's first of all give it up for Thora, the superhero, and Ed. He's a superhero too because like attracts like. Tens marry tens, and these guys are tens. So give it up for this awesome couple. I can't wait to see you guys down in Anaheim. You're just a total blessing. Keep up the great work, you guys. Wow. See, this is the caliber of people that we're bringing in, right? They're just amazing human beings on this planet. So let's get on over here to This Is It info. I want to show you guys something just in case you don't know this. Maybe you know it, maybe you forgot it, or maybe you haven't had your mind in the direction of recruiting internationally, but you don't know who people know. Right? How many of you know? Maybe you say, well, I live in Bismarck, North Dakota. I don't know a bunch of Filipinos or people from Taiwan or Japan or South Korea, but we are growing a huge team in those markets right now, Scott, Brandon, and I. And so when I come over here to this, I'm going over to This Is It info, and This Is It team has it as well, guys. So when you come here to this website, down in the corner, it says English, but you can actually change the English. Like, for example, the other day, our meeting was actually in part Chinese. So as we came down, I actually didn't know what Chinese it was. And then the woman that was like the interpreter, she goes, click on Chinese traditional, not simplified. So they actually told me which one it was. And then as soon as I did that, you see how the whole screen changes. And that's beautiful because you should have seen now all of a sudden, all of those people from Asia Pacific were like just cheering and smiling because they could understand this whole thing, right, guys? So think about this. We have the power to grow an international global business here. So I know you maybe aren't thinking about that. Maybe you're just still thinking about your next door neighbor, but I'm going to tell you, I mean, when I realize this, I'm eating on purpose. I'm talking on purpose. I'm like, when I go different places and I see somebody with different ethnic background, I'm talking about it. Hey, do you know anybody that's looking for an opportunity in the stem cell regeneration business? Like I'm talking like that to people, right? Because you just don't know who people know. But as you come down, and again, they can click on that. And this is it. Team has the same stuff. So they can get all the same stuff. So you can just choose the language on there. And if you have not used that corner drop down box, isn't it great that we have that? So, I mean, start talking to people that, don't speak the same language as you. That'd be my advice to you. And the beautiful thing is, and by the way, your website also has that drop down box. So if you've never done that, let me just take you real quickly over to my website. This is it, actually, lifewave.com. We're going to go, I'll show you exactly if you've never used that drop down box. /joy. When you go there, if you guys can see that, you just go up here to the United States. And then of course, right here's the drop down box. These are all the countries that we're available in. So if you guys are not aware of that yet, I'm looking at Becky Salander. Becky, you travel, you're a flight attendant. You're just in my frame of view right here. So I'm just looking at you, thinking about you. I don't know if you do any international flights, Becky, but wow, you've got a huge opportunity to share globally, right? If you are doing some international flights. And again, Becky's a flight attendant. She knows other flight attendants. If she's not doing an international flight, I bet she's got some sisters in the air that probably are doing international flights, right? So it's like, it's that power of, relationships that grows this thing, right? So make sure that you guys go there. You can even change the language. If I would, in the United States, it gives you the option of English or Spanish. Start recruiting on purpose. Start talking to Hispanic people. They love this business model. By the way, several companies are not innovating. So they're literally making cutbacks and having setbacks right now where entire lines of business are leaving. For example, Herbalife, which was a huge billion-dollar company, especially in Mexico, took away their network marketing arm. So there's no longer network marketing for all of these people that had created those businesses down in Mexico. So guess what? If you talk to somebody that's Hispanic, and they're going to be excited about this opportunity, right, guys? So just getting started again. So those are your two kind of international things. If you've never known that you have that, tonight you know. It's an awesome, awesome opportunity. Again, we're so thankful for Thor and Ed for sharing tonight. Thor, I really did say to Scott yesterday, Thor is like a superhero, except with an A on the end. Anyway, so that's that. But, it's just amazing. We get to meet amazing people. Like I always think to myself, I am so blessed like with the people that I get to talk to every day. It's the people that want to do life. They want to make a difference. They want to earn income. They want to save lives and change lives. Those are the people. Those are the ones we're looking for. I always tell people, if someone says no to you repeatedly and you just think they need it. Listen, sometimes God's rejection is your protection. I've realized that in this business where I want it so desperately for somebody and they didn't even want it for themselves, right? And so when you have to drag them in, and sometimes you have to be persistent, like I was with Dr. Stillman, right? He wasn't dragging, I was just persistent. But if you're dragging, trying to convince them, and they're saying, I got to talk to my doctor, and I say, yes, you should go talk to your doctor, but they may or may not know about phototherapy. That's just the truth. Not everybody's a Dr. Ed. Right. And so, or Dr. Stillman, like a lot of these people, a lot of these doctors, they may or may not know about the realm of phototherapy yet. So keep that in mind. But, be positive with people, encourage people. But, if it becomes too much of a nagging session, I kind of say, you know what? I'm here to help you and serve you and bless you when you're ready. Like I keep that door always open. That bridge is always there because I want them to walk across it eventually. But it's really interesting. I got a personal story about a family member. So my brother Randy, big business guy, not necessarily LifeWave, but a big business guy. He has hundreds of franchises in North Dakota, right? Like Dickie's Barbecue, Edible Arrangements, Big O Tire. Like he's just got a lot of them. And he's not really worn the patches, my brother Randy. His wife Lisa and my nieces and nephew, they do. They wear the patches, right? But Randy's the guy who doesn't even go to the chiropractor, right? Like he just doesn't do it and doesn't do much natural health stuff. Well, recently, last week, he had a knee surgery. And I said, hey, don't stay on those pain drugs too long. I said, they're highly addictive. After the third day, you can become addicted if you have a certain gene. And I said, plus you'll be constipated as all get out. So make sure you get off them fast. And so all of a sudden, one day in, I'm talking to Randy on the phone and he goes, okay, tell Lisa where I put these patches. And I've been in the business 3 years. We've been in the business 3 years. And my brother has not wore the patches until he had the knee surgery. Are you seeing what's happening here, you guys? So sometimes, I don't want to say they have to get a little sicker, but he had to have a knee surgery where he got a little constipated. And now he's like, okay, I got to get off these dang pain meds. Sis, tell Lisa what patches she should put where, right? So they got me on speakerphone and Lisa, his wife, is patching him up, right? And he's open to it. And I thought, isn't that interesting? 3 years in, and now finally he's open. And so it was funny because at the same time, another buddy of his called me up who's been having terrible PTSD. And yesterday morning, Scott and I dropped off a couple patches for him, and he's so excited about it. He said, how come your brother's not wearing these patches yet? He said that the week before the surgery. I said, he's about to. He's about to. I told the buddy he's about to when I talked to him on the phone like a week ago. So now yesterday I'm like, oh yeah, Randy's wearing the patches now. And so the funny thing about all this is a family member. This is somebody that sees what we do. And I mean, I guess he's probably not on Facebook, my brother, but he sees what we do. He hears of all the miracles. He sees the travel and was still not yet patching. So you guys, I'm saying this to say, sometimes family's the hardest and it's okay. Just love them. And you don't have to sit and convince him. I walked away. Every time I saw my brother, I wasn't telling him about the patch. Do you know why? Because then that would have made this friction in the relationship. And said I just loved him. And he knew where to get him. He knew what I was doing, right? You guys with me in this? So Scott always says the biggest thing in business is if you're talking to the same person that keeps saying no to you, opportunity, that are looking to feel better, that are looking to change their story. Are you guys with me on that? Okay, so I'm saying I presented in pretty much 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, I can tell you if someone is open to hearing about what I have to say or not. Right? So it's just a very easy conversation. How are you leading the conversation? So I want to talk about who watched the This Is It team training on Saturdays. Yesterday. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you're part of our team, I think the Saturday training, nothing is mandatory here, because if you don't show up, we don't know if you don't show up, right? But if there is one thing that you all absolutely should be on, it's the Saturday business training. And it's different presenters every single week. So some weeks you're going to say, oh my gosh, I took so much. Maybe the next week you don't like it as much. Maybe you get on the next week and say, oh my gosh, that was life-changing. The point of the Saturday training is you're hearing from different leaders with different perspectives about how the business model is working. And yesterday we heard from some of the very best. John and Teresa Getz, Senior Presidential Director, Elites in LifeWave. This amazing couple are on fire, and they're very, very high touch. They do something called Show, Share, Connect on the front of their meetings. And what that is they actually share a video, and then they have the person calls the person and they let them watch the video while they're sitting on the phone. And some of you say, well, I don't have time for that. Well, listen, in life, we make time for things that are important. And for me, financial freedom is important. For me, generational health and generational wealth are very important to my family. So I make time for this business, right? Why? Because if you're going to make millions of dollars, you might have to do something a little different than you're doing right now. True story, right? Some people want to do the same thing and expect different results. And I always say, look at your habits. Are your habits creating the outcome you're looking for? And if your habits are not creating the outcome you're looking for, you may need to do something different, right? And so I feel like we're just, we're at the mercy of our patterns. Would you guys agree with this? And sometimes our patterns are great. I was at the gym this morning lifting weights, at 9 a.m., pushing the big weight. I told Scott I was on that stair mill and I went 25 flights of stairs in like a minute. Like I was just like sprinting up the stairs. And I thought to myself today, no one had to talk me into going. No one had to convince me to go. That is definitely a habit and a pattern for me. I've been lifting weights since I've been 14. I did it as a way to escape my kind of abusive alcoholic home when I was a kid. And I started that at age 14 and it stuck. And so it's a neural pattern that I want to hang on to because it's a dang good one. Would you guys say work it out every day? No one's convinced me. No one's talking me into it. I feel blessed to be able to do it. So when I get to the gym, I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Let's rock. So everything is a blessing with the working out because I know movement is medicine. Now that's a good neural pattern. Do you guys see that? That's a neural pattern I want to keep. My question is, how many of you have neural patterns that need to go? And you know what these neural patterns are because they're just a habit or there's something that's on repeat that is not producing a positive outcome. Can any of you think of any? I can think of some of my own. I can think of some of my own, right? But I'm talking in regards to the business now because we're not doing a whole life overview right now. But in regards to the business, what are some patterns or habits that you guys have implemented that have worked? And I want you to put them in the comments because this is not a Renita session. This is a growth session for all of our team, right? So tell me what are some of the patterns or the habits that you're doing consistently that you know are producing a positive result in your business. For John and Teresa Getz, it's making the phone calls. It's the show, share, connects, right? They've got a 95% sign up rate doing that, right? So that is a pattern. And you know what? That pattern didn't happen in LifeWave. That pattern happened in their previous company where they did show, share, connect. So that's been a long-standing pattern that works. So I've realized in life, we need to hang on to the patterns that are working and producing good fruit on our trees. And we need to get rid of the other patterns that aren't, right? It just is that simple. It's that simple, right? And so somebody says, Heidi Sarnecki is saying, we're going to read some of these in the chat now, just so that you guys can hear this, right? Yeah, I love compassionate capitalism. Someone said that earlier. Conscientious capitalism, compassionate capitalism. How many doctors do I have on the patch? I don't know. I have probably close to 500 medical professionals. So health and medical. So I that's the gamut for me. That's East and West. Listen to this. Danusha is saying, I signed someone up for my church and didn't know she was from South Korea. She's now in South Korea with the patches, patching her family. See, this is how this goes, right, guys? So what are you guys doing? Let me go down to what you guys are doing. We're going to just read it. We're going to read what people are doing because some of you are maybe doing the same thing and you're not getting the response or the result you want because maybe you're not, because you're just doing the same thing. And the same thing, if it's not working, stop doing the same thing, right? Calling and follow-ups, Robin Yamamoto is saying. She's calling people and follow-ups. It's hard to deny someone's voice. It's easy to disregard a text. It's hard to deny their voice. I mean, John and Teresa Getz are proof of this as well with their team. Their team is on the phone, right? So because people hear the excitement in your voice, they hear the authenticity in your voice, right? And they want to become part of that. I love it how Marcy Phelps is doing weekly meetings with her team. That's working for her. Again, examine if it's working. Are you having growth? Have you earned the free incentive trip yet? Are you sponsoring new people? Is it working? Okay. And if you're saying, well, quantify, is it working? Sometimes we do the same thing. And if it's not working, why do we keep doing it is my question, right? We got to switch gears a little bit and shift. Networking with new people. Alisa, I love that. That is secret to this business is networking with new people. Now, people like Ed and Thora are still on their hot and warm contacts because they've got such a great sphere of reach and influence because, he's been a practitioner for so many years and they're both amazing. Hard. And again, I'm going to give an example with Ed and Thora. It's hard not to love them, right? Make yourself likable, right? When I listened to Ed and Thora, Scott and I immediately got off the phone and said, we want to work with that couple. We want a vacation with that couple. We want to do life with a couple like that. We love that energy. We love that positivity. We love that servant leadership. We love that abundance mentality. We love it. We can't get enough of it, right? And so the bottom line is like, and how did that happen? How did that relationship happen with Ed and Thora? I picked up the phone and I called. Okay. And we talked to each other as real people, one-on-one, right? It wasn't just a text message. It was a little text message to get to the phone call, but we got there eventually, right? But networking with new people daily. So how many of you need to go network? You need to get out from behind Facebook and your computer, and you need to go join a book club, a Bible study, a golf scramble, anything. Go join a dog washing club. Go to, there was just this, car thing where they had all these cars down on the beach. And I was like, gosh, if I'd be down there, I'd be at the car club patching everybody in their Ferraris. This is how I roll, right? Lori Lena says, instead of texting or messaging words, talking to people. Yeah, your voice is very, very powerful. People want to connect, right? Diane is saying, listen to and openly share what the patches are doing for me with people. Yes, she says, I have appointments with dental hygienists, doctors, and mechanics. I love what John and Teresa Getz said. Teresa Getz, again, if you've not watched it, I'm going to show you where to find the training from yesterday. It's over on YouTube on This Is It team. All of the recorded Saturday trainings are there. So if you're building a business, go listen. And I love how Teresa said, what was your favorite part of the video? And then shut your mouth and listen, right? Listen, just zip it for a second and let them tell you what their favorite part is. Should I tell you who's doing an excellent job of this? I don't know if my son Bo is on. I think he is. Maybe he's not. Bo, are you on this Zoom meeting today? Bo, are you on? Let me see where Bo is at. Bo is crushing it. I have done so many Zoom meetings with Bo and his team in the last couple days. It's actually unbelievable. But Bo is very, very excellent at, he'll say, he said to this young woman yesterday, he said she was talking and then I was talking and then he interrupted for a second. He said, now tell us what your ideal life would look like a year from now if you were really doing what you wanted to be doing, because she was selling insurance and she didn't like it. She had been doing that for 3 years. And he said, tell us what your ideal day and life would look like. And then she kind of sat back and you could just see her visualizing and internalizing it, right? And then she went on for maybe 2 to 3 minutes talking about what an ideal lifestyle would look like, about, helping people with health. She said, I'm passionate about health. I don't want to sit behind a desk. Like I want to be out, intermingling with people and helping people and just Bo asking and then us shutting our mouths and listening was powerful. She signed up. She signed up. She said, we were 10 minutes into the Zoom and she goes, Bo goes, do you have any questions yet? And she goes, how do I get started? Like we were 10 minutes in, we hadn't even flipped a chart. We just were talking like this, and I thought, wow, that was so powerful how we asked a question and we shut up and we listened, because sometimes we want to talk them into it, right? It's not about that. Hear where their story's at. Find out where they're coming from and see how LifeWave is going to fill in the gap for them, right? See how you can fit into their life destiny and their life, vision that they have, right, guys? This is very important for some of you to hear me tonight. It's important for me to hear myself because I'm a talker. Guilty as charged, right? I'm an over talker. I talk too much sometimes. And so, but I'm learning from my son, Bo, on these Zoom meetings where he asks a question and it's pulling this gold out of people, right? I'm like, I actually thought to myself after he did that, I'm like, that was so good, Bo. Like that was just so good what you just did. And so here it is, my 25-year-old doing this, right, guys? So, this is important. Find out what they want. Find out what they need. Find out what gets them excited. Find out what drives them. Find out what the vision is for their lives, right? Most people at their day jobs are not living their visions. I'm just going to say it. They're not. I like it if they are, if they feel like they are, but most people go home and they want something else, right? They want something else. And so It says Thora is hitting the cold market. Hey, Thora. Thora, you're put a cape on, girl. I feel like I'm going to buy her a cape. Thora is hitting the cold market. Okay. So I show my patches of the testimonies with the pictures. Pictures. I always say facts tell, stories sell, and pictures will make you 1.3 million the first year. So you guys got to take pictures of all the stuff. Pictures are currency. How many of you know currency is a flow? Raise your hand if you know currency is a flow. Current. It's a flow. So that's why you can never outgive God. You can never give away too many patches to people. You can never, I'm saying don't break the business. Don't like give away sleeves, because people pay when they pay attention. They pay attention when they pay. When their money's attached to it, now they're watching how they feel. Sometimes if you give them samples, it might be in the glove compartment of their car on a 110-degree day, right? And so it's very important to, when I quantify everything, I say, I'm going to give you a couple patches, but I want you to do me a favor. And they say, what is it? Would you do me a favor? I say it like that. Would you do me a favor? If it's a man, I say would. If it's a woman, I say could. You guys know that? Would for men, could for women. It's like a marketing thing. Could women, would men. Okay, guys, got it? So if I say, would you do me a favor? Would you watch this Zoom meeting? If I send it over to you, it's a quick 25-minute overview. I want you to understand what you have your hands on, because this technology is going to change your life. And I speak it into existence. I speak exactly what I want all the time. That is the secret. It's a key to the kingdom. They made you think that you didn't have any power. I'm here to tell you, you have all the power. You have all the power. But listen, if you're still resonating on the fear frequency because you're still watching the news and all the crazy crap that's happening in the world, I didn't even know the government shut down. Someone told me on Saturday, the government shut down. I was like, oh, you know how much that affected me? That much. 0%. If you guys are watching the news like it affects you, get a grip. It's not affecting you. Go out, make a difference, change a life, make some money, patch some people, solve a problem. You watching the news and sitting doom scrolling is not getting you anywhere, except what it's doing is it's attaching the fear frequency to you. Do you know that you will not make millions of dollars or help millions of people if you have a fear frequency on you? Do you guys know that? I'm just speaking truth here to you guys. So you have to be in that realm of forgiveness, love, joy, and then that now is a clear path to abundance. If you're sitting and scared, you're not going to attract anything. That's not abundance. It's the opposite. It's like the dark side grabbing a hold of you. Okay. People are saying three-way edifying. Yes, a three-way call is great. Find out who your sponsor is. Say, hey, listen, can you hop on a three-way call with me? If they don't do it, go one up from that. Go to the next line up. Call that person. Say, would you help me with this? You're going to find somebody who's a servant leader and wants to help you. I'm telling you, that's how this thing works. Smile, that's a big one. Networking events. I love Nina is saying that. Hey, Nina and Dan. Can you speak for a second? Wow, your whole frequency, you think I'm not watching? I watch everything on Facebook. Nina's frequency is changing.
I know you do. It's like with your post, it's like, she's talking to me.
Oh, when I saw you post something today, I thought, OMG, Nina is going to be a senior presidential director, lead this business.
Thank you. From your lips to God's ears. Yes.
No, it is.
Things are changing. And it changed when you did the summer training. When you start that first day, Dan and I got off. It gets me emotional. I felt like the stadium lights went on. And since then, things have been shifting.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's been amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, when I see what you're posting, I mean, you get it though, right? Like if we want light, if we want abundance, if we want health and healing, we've got to operate from that frequency. We got to act as if already. We got to act as if already, like as if we're already there. Today, I got to tell you guys something really funny, Nana. You're going to get a kick out of this. This was the Holy Spirit. Yesterday, I can never find my own name in my phone. I know that. Do you guys ever text yourself stuff?
Yes.
I do I'm constantly messengering me and texting myself stuff. Well, I can never find my own name because I'm saved as Mama. And then I'm like, is it MOMMA? Is it MAMA? Like I forget, right? Because I'm just like on the move all the time. And so I'm like, I am a mama, but like I'm even greater than a mama. And the thing, I know that I'm a great mama. Like I know I'm a great wife. Like that's an actual belief for me. I know that I'm a child of the Most High God. But what I'm really striving for now is I am a billionaire. I have a billionaire frequency on me with my energy. I know this about myself. And I want to help millions and millions and millions of people. God's called me to it. I know it. I know it. And so yesterday, I thought to myself, when I couldn't find my own name in my phone to text myself something, I thought, I'm changing my name. I'm changing my name in my phone. And so today, Scott ran in to get me a double burger from Five Guys with no bun. And I sat in the car and I changed my name in the phone. And then and Scott, I thought Scott would notice because I texted him right away because I thought it would show up, on his text, like what I'm texting him. And instead, he didn't say anything. He didn't mention it. Well, I get home and Truett goes, Mom, do you know what your name shows up as? My son Truett, he was in the kitchen here doing the dishes. And I said, yeah. He goes, what does it say? It says, I told him, I am a billionaire.
Nice.
I am a billionaire, Renita. It says, I am a billionaire, Renita. And then Truett goes, he sat down at the kitchen table. He was like doing the dishes and he sat down. He goes, did you really type that in? And I said, yeah. He said, why, Mom? I said, because I'm a billionaire frequency. And I said, we're going to have billions of dollars and help millions of people. So, I said, I just wanted to change my phone to that. So every time I open my phone, which is constantly, I said, it says that, for me, instead of trying to find mama and the spelling of it. And he just sat at me and he goes, that is awesome, Mom. And he like threw me a high five at the kitchen table. And I said, what's your username when you pull it up? I said, you should change yours to something awesome too. I said,
That's
why
a
not?
good idea.
Yeah, and so anyway, I'm just telling you that because it's like, I'm not there yet, right?
Yeah.
But like just like no one's SPD yet, or no one, if you're not there yet, or haven't signed up 20 people yet, or 2 people, but what are you saying? Are you voicing it right now as if, or are you as if how you want it? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about like the same thing, different day? And by the way, that doesn't work because now you're drawing that same frequency. You're drawing that same frequency.
Mhm.
It's all frequency. And this is a Christian woman telling you this, you guys, that I told you on last week's Zoom, or maybe it was a Zoom this week, when Jesus was going to raise Lazarus from the dead, he never said Lazarus was dead. That should be huge for some of you. That was like a light bulb moment when I figured that out. I'm like, he just said he's resting. He never even spoke the death over his friend. Get this, guys, get this. He said he's resting. I'm about to go help him out, type deal. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Just real quick though, can I just jump in really quick? Because that story
Yes.
came up on a podcast I was listening to. Not only did he say he was sleeping, he gave thanks. He gave thanks to the Lord prior to going and doing the work.
Wow.
So he was already in thankfulness and gratefulness. So that really spoke to me too. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yes, God's going to do great things, but are we ahead of time being thankful and grateful and in a state of thankfulness, anticipating the work?
Anticipation. Yeah, I always say expectancy is the atmosphere for miracles. Some people say, don't expect too much. Well, I expect God to show up because I'm a child of the King and I'm living on earth and I'm living from the glory realm. So he's gonna be here. But even the David Schmidt interview, how many of you watched the David Schmidt interview with our family? And the graciousness, the gratitude. Did you guys catch that with David? It was palpable how thankful and he was so thankful. Like the entire call was just him pouring. Here's the guy who's going to have $1 billion company thanking our family over and over and thanking the brand partners. And like, he was just so gracious. And so, guys, it's vitamin G, man. And it's gratitude. It's also generosity. I think generosity is a big thing that links to abundance. When you start being generous with people, hang on. Some people say, I don't have time. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to be generous with my time because, it's always going to reap a reward because, again, expectancy is the atmosphere for miracles. I don't do it just because I think I'm going to get the end result, but I do think I'm going to get the end result. It's not like that's my only driver, but I do know that like it's the biblical law of sowing and reaping, right? We sow, we're going to reap a harvest. If you don't sow anything, if you plant 2 seeds and then you say, well, that didn't work, I tried, like go plant 20 tomorrow, right? Plant some more seeds to see how this thing can grow. So after that first Zoom meeting, what do you think switched in you, Nina, the most?
Well, first of all, I quit watching the news.
Thank you.
And like you, I didn't know the government shut down either. And people who know me would be shocked learn that I didn't know it shut down because I've always been such a nerd, but it's changed my life. I'm so much more happier. I have so much more peace.
Well,
I'm not worried about, what's going on in the world. I'm investing time in what I'm doing. What am I doing today, to make life better? So that was, I think, one of the big things. And again, just realizing the power of our words and the power of our thought life were
Yeah.
some of the things that I took away in that first one. And it was so exciting. I mean, we were whooping and hollering. It's like, yes.
Right, right. And if you guys have not seen that, we will post it again in the top and pin it to the featured on our Facebook page because it is so great. We did a 9-week series and it was awesome. I think each week was just huge nuggets and huge takeaways, and it was just really like showing you guys what we're doing to grow this thing because we believe anybody can do it. We do believe anybody can do it. Like we don't just say that, we believe it. Like we're witnessing it. You know what I mean? People are coming into the business that have never had success in network marketing, and they are having the utmost success here with LifeWave. Part of it's because the technology is unique. We don't have any competition. And part of it is because of you're hanging out with the Ninas, the Thoras, and the Eds. You can't hang out with these people and not change your frequency. Trust me on this, guys. That's why these big events are so powerful because you get together. I swear to God, they probably can see us from outer space. It's glowing, because it's just like so much energy, so much goodness, so many miracles are happening and just love. It's just the frequency of love is what it is. And so it's very, very powerful to be part of it and to see it. And then you, again, from a business standpoint, you're looking for people who want that. If they want to stay in the doom and gloom side and they want to stay on the dark side and gripe about everything, they can, but I just can't be around them very long. I can put a patch on them and go. Okay. Hopefully this patch is going to change your life. It sounds like you need some electrolytes. I got to run. Okay. And so let's up level their frequency to get them back into the light instead of sitting in that darkness. Right, guys? So anyway, that's that. Let me show you. Nina, thank you for speaking. I just saw your post today and I was like, oh, that was good, girl. Like she's posted such awesome, amazing things that are just, it's like you got to change your frequency to change your life. So let me share the screen with you and show you where that Zoom meeting is from yesterday. If you guys have not gone and watched that from yesterday with John and Teresa Getz, again, Senior Presidential Director Elites. She takes you by the hand. Teresa Getz takes you by the hand and leads you down exactly what she says on the teaching and training, right? She teaches you exactly what she says from the moment she meets somebody and what she does. Do you guys know that? So if you've never saying, I've never been led on that journey, then go watch what Teresa says. It's a great training. So we're going to go over here. It's at This Is It Team. And again, all of the trainings are recorded. So if you're not a member of This Is It Team or you have never watched anything, wow, you are lucky and blessed tonight to be on here because now you get to see where all this great training is. So this is a Saturday teaching and training from yesterday. It's all recorded. Every week is going to be somebody a little bit different. Okay, you guys get this? So you're going to have different leadership every single week. So you can watch all of these Saturday trainings and they're all phenomenal. They're all business trainings. Okay, for you. So first and foremost, if you've not done that, do that. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Did that switch over to the Bahamas? Because we're trying to get people to earn the Bahamas trip right now. And I know there's a lot of you, if you've won it already, put in the comments, I'm in. I'm on the ship. I'm on the ship. Put it on there. I am on the ship. Okay. If you're going to be on the ship, put I'm on the ship there too, because you're prophesying your future. Why not prophesy your destiny, exactly where you're going to end up? Then the secret is not just prophesying the destiny, it's then aligning the activity, aligning the daily activity. So what Scott and I are going to do to help out with this, because I feel like we can help out. I'm going to be doing a short 20-minute Zoom training. I'm going to do a 20-minute Zoom training on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon. 20 minutes. It's not going to last longer than 20 minutes. I've got a hard stop on it. I'm setting a timer, but I'm going to present the product X39 and a brief overview of the opportunity. And it's going to be 20 minutes long. So people can hop on in their lunch hour. It's going to be Central Time, 12 o'clock to 12:20. The link is going to stand. So what that means is I'm going to put it into the Facebook group, and that is going to be the link for every 20-minute Monday, Wednesday, Friday training. So if you guys want to get on that, get guests on that, we will not leave you behind. It's up to you to contact people, to invite people, to get them on that. Now, if they cannot get on that, again, like John and Teresa again said, you can take the Zoom meeting to them. We've got 25-minute recordings. We got the 11, the 12, the 21-minute recording. We've got all kinds of recordings that you guys can take people to that are already done, right? But sometimes people like live. They like live because they can ask questions. Right, guys? So tell them, hey, listen, if you got questions about it, it'll be great to get on this live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And again, I'll post it in our Facebook group, LifeWave Wellness Warriors under featured. My question is how many guests can you get on each day? How many guests can you get on? Put in the comments, how many think you can get on? Part of this is just setting a goal, getting a goal, setting a goal, getting a goal. Okay. So if you can get one guest on each Zoom meeting, maybe you can get two, maybe you can get three. Say, I'm going to shoot tomorrow morning. I'm going to pick up my phone and say, listen, and the conversation looks like something like this. I am so like, I just recorded this for my friend Cheryl, my new friend, Cheryl and James. You guys met Cheryl and James. We met them by the pool, right? Down in Arizona, rocking and rolling. And she is now inviting a bunch of her contacts to a meeting that they're having just with their friends this week. And the interesting thing is, she said, okay, can you give me a little blurb of how to say it? And I said, yes. So I literally voice recorded what she should say. I'd say, this is how I would say it. You guys can record this if you want. If you've got a phone in your hand, hit the record button, film it. This is what I would say to somebody when I'm inviting them. Okay. If it's a friend, let's say it's a friend, somebody that you know on social media that you've been thinking about, that maybe you haven't reached out to yet. So basically you're going to say this, you're going to come up and you're going to say, I'm just going to use the name Lori. Okay. Lori, this is Renita. I am so happy you answered the phone right now. Listen, I don't have much time. And I know you don't have much time either right now, but I want to talk to you because Scott and I recently came across the most incredible thing and we are so excited. And this morning when I woke up, Lori, you were first on my mind. You were first on my mind. It was like the Holy Spirit said, call Lori, right? And here I am calling Lori. And I'm calling you because we came across a technology that is actually helping to activate our stem cells. And it does it with light. It's like this little patch and we've been wearing it. And Scott and I have had phenomenal results. Phenomenal. Scott's actually down 95 pounds. His inflammation has left his body. I mean, it's incredible. Anyway, I can't talk anymore right now because I know, I'm on the way out the door and I know you're busy at work. But I'm wondering if you can hop on this quick 20-minute meeting that we're having on Monday, on Wednesday, on Friday, right? Just say one of the dates. I'd love to send you the Zoom link for you to get on and learn more because it's completely changed our lives. And again, I just woke up thinking about you this morning. I remember how you had that bad knee when we worked together. And I just thought, Lori needs this. Lori needs this. So can I count you in to be at the 12 o'clock meeting with me? Because I want you to learn more. That's it. I love you, Lori. I'll see you at noon. Bye. Right? So you're basically, that's how you're going. You're calling with excitement. If you're calling and feeling like you need to be a medical doctor and explain to them for 40 minutes of science, no one's listening to that. They're too busy, right? You need to call with excitement, with exuberance in your voice, pointing to the deadline, acknowledging that you're busy, Lori's busy, right? But I thought of you today. I've been thinking about you. Your ears must be hot and ringing. I'm thinking about you right now because I remember when we worked together, you had that back issue. And guess what? Scott and I recently came across this technology and we are seeing amazing things with our health. Lori, you have got to see this. It's going to absolutely change your life. What do you know about stem cells, Lori? Nothing. Don't worry. I didn't know much either. I got to go because I'm on the run right now, but I'm wondering, I have this quick 20-minute Zoom meeting that I'm going to be on this afternoon. I wanted to know if you can hop on with me. And if you can, I'd love to send you the quick link. And I just know it's going to help that back, right? You have to put it in their court, whatever they're looking for. Maybe they just lost their job. Another friend of mine just did a Zoom meeting with her yesterday, her friend, because I didn't know this, but the government shut down. And then I did the Zoom meeting and this lady who worked for the USDA said, I'm out of work right now because the government shut down. I said, oh, I didn't know the government shut down. And I said, well, this is perfect time to work LifeWave, right? And so the point is, hey, do you have government friends? Is the government still shut down? I don't know how long this thing lasts. I don't watch the news, but I would call them up and say, hey, listen, I heard you got some time on your hands. It's about time. You got some freedom, right? I want you on this, I want to show you what I've been doing. It's so extraordinary. It's going to absolutely change your life like it has ours. And now it sounds like you're out of work for a bit. So it sounds like it's a great opportunity for you to take some time to look at this, right? Do you have 15, 20 minutes? Right? Do you see what I'm doing there? Now I'm targeting the one that's not going to work tomorrow because they're shut down, apparently, right? Do you see how you talk it to whoever you're talking to? You guys get this? You want to customize it to the people. And Teresa Getz said this yesterday too. She said, the person you're calling, what do they have? Do they have rheumatoid arthritis? Do they hate their job? Do they hate their boss? Do they have athletic kids, right? That are trying to be superstars in sports? Like what is there in that's going to get them to perk up and listen? If you've read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, people are in the What's in It for Me club. They're not in the What's in It for You club. Don't call them and tell them what's in it for you. You got to call them and tell them what's in it for them. That's what they want to hear, right? Everybody's looking for the solutions for their lives. Okay, guys, you guys understand that? It's a big deal. So I'm going to put that Zoom meeting for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's 20 minutes. It's not going to be longer. You should hop on it and you should set a goal for yourself. I'm going to bring 3 guests with me each day. And it should be picking up the phone tomorrow morning. You shouldn't be relying on Facebook for someone to comment on your My question is, if you posted on Facebook before, have you had a lot of people commenting and replying and signing up from Facebook? Oh, you haven't? Then you got to pick up the phone and call people. Right, guys? See what I'm saying? You can't just keep doing the same thing and say, well, this doesn't work. No, you don't work. You've got to try something different. See what I'm saying? Because you're in the pattern that's not winning. You're in the pattern that's not working. Okay, you got to get in the flow. You got to get into the pattern that's working, into the flow. When you know you're in the flow, you'll know you're in the flow. You won't have to say, Renita, am I in the flow? You'll call me and say, I'm in the flow, baby, right? This is working. Wow, this is amazing. You guys get what I'm saying here? So part of it is you got to shift your whole frequency from that dilly-dallying around with bad patterns and bad habits that aren't producing a result to say, I gotta get radically different, right? People, can you do a meeting at 3 a.m.? Yes, I can. You know why? I don't typically do meetings at 3 a.m., but now I'm going to do them because I'm going to do something different because I want to recruit a whole new country, right? See that? Is it easy to get up at 2:30 and fix my hair and brush my teeth? No, not really. Do I want to do it? Not always. Is it something different that is going to produce a harvest? Yes, I'm in. See this, guys? I mean, you just got to get a little radical with it on the front end. All right. Okay, so hopefully you're understanding this. So you guys know where to find all those recordings. So again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 to 12:20. My goal is for all of you that are close to the finish line of that cruise ship to make sure that I'm not leaving you on the dock. I don't want you to be like Terry Beatley running toward the boat because she almost missed the ship over in Croatia. That's a whole nother story, right? We were talking to the captain of the ship saying she's the most prestigious person in all of LifeWave. We cannot leave her in Croatia. She was in Jerusalem, apparently. She drove across the border, couldn't get back. Anyway, the bottom line is like, we don't want to leave you on the dock. We don't want to leave you behind. So if you're close, this is going to push you in. And if you're brand new getting started, you're going to win it. You're going to earn it. I got to say the right word. You got to earn it. You don't win it, you earn it. So if you say, I'm going to do 3 to 5 people on the noon meeting on the Monday, by Wednesday, you're going to have momentum because those 3 to 5 people are going to get in. And then you're going to tell them, you got to invite your friends on the Wednesday meeting. So now you're making managers out of the deal. See what I'm saying here, guys? So by Friday, we should have the biggest meeting yet because everybody is getting on and they're bringing their friends to these Zoom meetings at noon. Okay, so I'll post all the details for that in the Facebook group right after we get on here. We're not leaving you behind. Like if you want to be on that ship and you're willing to do something about it, we want to be partnered with you. We love you. We believe in you. Scott and I know the very best is yet to come. I know that we have a servant leader with David Schmidt who's so gracious and kind and humble and loving. We're just honored to be part of it all. And again, I'm not going to get into much more tonight. There's 6 ways of earning. If you guys haven't watched the 25-minute video, that's pinned under featured in LifeWave Wellness Warriors. So you just go to LifeWave Wellness Warriors, click on the featured button, and you see the 25-minute YouTube recorded video that I did. It's excellent. That would be one that I'd send over if somebody says, I can't get on anything at noon. I'm working. No problem. I have a short video I'd love to sit and watch with you. And then you do the Teresa Getz talk. I'm gonna send it to you and I'm gonna call you. Tell me when you got 20 minutes to watch this thing. and they're gonna say, okay, I have time now. And then you're gonna call them and you're gonna sit on the phone while they watch the 25-minute video. Okay? Just get them on there. And then while they're watching the video, if you need your upline to get on board, did you hear what Teresa did? At the last minute of the video, she says, okay, Teresa, are you ready to hop on? Or whoever your upline is, go with your direct upline. If they can't do something, go with the person above that. Okay. You want to try to go in that order. The person who sponsored you is responsible for helping you, but if they're not able to, then you go one notch above them. If they're not able to, you go one notch above that person. You just keep going up the tree because eventually you're going to find somebody who says, I've been waiting for you to call. I want to help you. Right? Guys, get this? Okay. All right. That's it. The best is yet to come. Look at the Facebook group. Thank you, Thora, Ed. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, all of you, for getting on tonight. Believe it. We are the light. Be the light and share the light, baby. This is it. We're called for such a time as this. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Adios.